the national chair of the 9/11 Families and Survivors United for Justice. Terry's with us now. Thanks for being here, Terry. My first question to you is, you lost your husband. You had just given birth. I believe it was 4 days before 9/11. He just went in for a half day.
Yes.
And he never came home. How do you process this day, let alone any other day?
It's a very difficult day, Laura. You know, from the moment the alarm goes off in the morning, and it reminds me, he was here at 7 o'clock in the morning. He was still alive, and he was taking a shower, and he was saying goodbye to the children and kissing each and every one of them. And he left and turned around and said, "I'll be home early. I'll be home before 2." And I never saw him again. I did speak to him. He did call me that morning after the plane hit the building, and it was a terrifying phone call, and it was just a nightmarish of a day to live through.
Terry, I want to get your thoughts on the mind-boggling fact that the mastermind of 9/11, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, will not face trial until 20 years after 9/11. 2021, it looks like that's when his trial will begin.
I know.
We got him back in 2003. What does this say to the families?
Well, the families need to heal, and we can't heal as long as these perpetrators are not, held accountable and held to justice in the courtroom. But I've been to Guantanamo Bay, and I've met the prosecution team, and I have a lot of respect for them. I believe they have given up so much of their time and so much of their lives to try this case, and they want to get it right. So they are collecting all the evidence that they can, so when we get in the courtroom, it'll be done right. Excuse me, and it's what the families deserve, and we will get justice.
And I know families such as yours are adamant that Saudi Arabia's role in whatever connection, we know all the hijackers who came from Saudi Arabia, U.S. government endeavored to interview many of the family members, connected associates to the 9/11 hijackers. I do not believe our government was ever allowed to do those types of in-depth interviews, but we do have some information, and yet that has not been unredacted in an ongoing lawsuit that I know is seeking some relief. You want some answers.
Yes, we absolutely want answers, and tomorrow the DOJ is supposed to file a motion on documents that have been kept from us all these years, and we're hopeful that we're going to see some truths come out tomorrow. We don't know exactly. We're kind of on pins and needles here, waiting to see what happens, but there is a name that talks about, or it is the name that tasked the 2 Saudi agents that were here in the United States out in San Diego. Their names were Bayumi and Thumari, and they were tasking the hijackers while they were here. So we need to know the name of that Saudi individual who was tasking these 2 Saudi agents here in this country.
Wow.
And once we get that name, there's a lot more that we need to uncover.
Yeah, Terry, this has been 18 years of heartache and hurt for you and almost 3,000 other Americans. And the fact that we haven't learned all the lessons still all these years later is really infuriating. It all came back to me today. I mean, I was here, I saw the Pentagon's in flame, I was on my bike, I'm really doing this show tonight for my friend Barbara Olson, who was killed in the plane that went into the Pentagon. She was a dear friend of mine. She literally could make me laugh at any moment of the day, anytime. She was an awesome person.
Right.
And you would have loved her. And we honor your husband and all those who gave their lives, those innocent Americans. And we just appreciate your fighting for justice and fighting for the truth. And your husband was like an incredible man.
Well, thank you. And we have a wonderful president now who is on our side and fighting alongside with us. He actually invited some of us down to the White House this morning just to share with the moment of silence on the South Lawn, and then invited us in just to give us his condolences and let us hear a couple of our stories. And he's just a wonderful man, and the First Lady was there too, and it was an honor to meet both of them.
So glad.
Yeah.
I'm so glad. And he honors our police officers and our first responders.
Yes, he does.
Every day, not just on the big days. Terry, Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And coming up, the son of a 9/11